You are absolutely correct, but let's talk about the Vatican during the transatlantic slave trade. Starting in the 15th century, when the European powers were out there doing their fuck shit to Africa, organized religion played a leading role in developing, supporting, and legislating the transatlantic slave trade. Rooted in the belief that their duty to spread Christianity justified their actions, religious organizations did not only embrace human trafficking and the enslavement of millions of Africans, they actively participated in it. The Roman Catholic Church was critical to the efforts of global expansion by Portugal, can't forget about Portugal, Spain, and France, and the creation of a massive commercial enterprise built on the suffering and death of the enslaved people. So in 1452 and 1455, Pope Nicholas V formally supported Spain and Portugal's mass kidnapping and enslavement of Africans because it would help to Christianize enslaved people. In 1548, Pope Paul III used his apostolic authority to declare the slave trade legal in the eyes of the church, which empowered the religious monarchies in European nations to continue to engage in what? Transatlantic slave trade. The popes and their friends accepted gifts of enslaved black people shipped from Africa to Rome. The Church of England, of course, participated in the transatlantic slave trade. They even had a plantation in Barbados where they housed over 275 enslaved men, women, and children. They had to labor in hot, grueling conditions to plant, harvest, and produce sugar, which required a worker to stand over a boiling cauldron for more than 12 hours a day. Early deaths were expected and devastating injuries were commonplace. And those who tried to get their freedom and got caught were whipped, branded, and forced to wear iron collars. But records were that some of them did escape. The Catholic Church profited from slavery. This is a book called The 272. It was written by Rachel Swarms, and she says, quote, "Without the enslaved, the Catholic Church in the United States as we know it today would not exist," end quote. She says that the priests prayed for the salvation of the souls of the people they owned, even as they bought and sold their body. In 1838, the Jesuits sold 272 enslaved people, which helped save what is now Georgetown University from bankruptcy and helped stabilize the Jesuits in Maryland. This is Frank Campbell, one of the enslaved men sold to keep Georgetown afloat, was found in a scrapbook at Nicholas State University in Louisiana. The children with Mr. Campbell are unidentified. Pictures. But slavery was so long ago, right? Right. And here's a priest holding up documentations of slave cells recorded in 1832 inside of a Catholic church. Crazy. But you want to know what's really crazy about this whole situation? Exodus 21 verse 16. This is in the Bible, y'all. Anyone who kidnaps someone is to be unalived, whether the victim has been sold or is still in the kidnapper's possession. Weird. So did they not read that passage? Did they forget about it? I mean, or were the passages about slavery just slipped into the Bible so that black people could think that they were prophesized to be slaves for white folks? Because that little part of the Bible don't make no sense, because that's what they was doing. So are all those slave masters, you know, are they going to hell? Yep. Oh, they are? Okay. Absolutely. The Protestant church too was involved in slavery. Just churches, Christianity. It's one of the reasons why I'm not a Christian anymore. Any spirituality that says that you can own another person, I don't want to be part of. Just me. And now the Catholic Order pledges $100 million to atone for the slave labor and sales. $100 million? That's it? That's all we're going to give? You kidnapped, sold, separated children from their parents, and you think $100 million is enough to atone? I swear. But at least they admitted that they participated in the slave trade. That's a step. Don't know if you're going to go to heaven though, but that's a step.
How do you pray to the God of your oppressor to end your oppression? We are praying to the same God. Whose prayers is that God answering? The hardest thing for black people to deconstruct is religion. Because religion equals hope. You hope that he comes. You hope that things will be better. You hope that Jesus Christ will come down and end your suffering. Hope makes suffering bearable. And black people don't want to give up that hope. Like I said, spiritual colonization is the hardest thing for black people to decolonize and deconstruct. It's hard to give up that hope, but a lot of people are starting to decolonize. And like I said, things are changing when you stop being the spiritual battery to a God that loves the blood and tears of black people. Don't argue with me. Go argue with your mama. Have a good day.